Okay, the first thing I want you to do is check your calculator to make sure you are not in rounding mode. So everybody go to mode. Also make sure you're not in scientific mode. So we're going to go to mode and we're going to check that we're in normal. So normal should be black and float should be black because we're not going to round and we're not going to be in scientific. Everybody checked and everybody's good? All right, so today is mean absolute deviation. It sounds hard, but it's actually really easy. Does anybody remember from 6th grade what is mean? Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember hearing the word? No? So y'all remember y'all learned like mean, median, mode, and range? We only do mean in here, and mean is average. So actually, as your teacher, I'm constantly doing the mean because I'm constantly finding y'all's averages in my class, right? How do y'all think I find y'all's average in here? Let's say you have 5 grades in the grade book. How would I find your average?
On your highest grade.
So I just take your highest grade?
Oh, no, lowest grade.
So if you made a 0, that's it? You have a 0? I add them up. So I add all 5 of the grades. Then what do I do? And then I divide by how many grades are there. So if you have 5 grades, I would add all 5, and then I would divide them by 5, and that would give me your average in my class. So that is what the mean is. The mean is the average. So y'all learned that in 6th grade, and you probably didn't enjoy it very much because you had to add a lot of numbers by hand, and then you had to go divide by hand, right? But again, in here you have a calculator. So what is the mean absolute deviation? It is the average distance from the average. To be really honest, most of you will never use this in real life. But if you get a job in statistics, my husband says he uses this all the time in the oil field. So if you end up in something like that, so there are a lot of jobs that you do use this for, but it's the average distance from the average. So we're basically going to take some numbers and we're going to average them. Then we're going to subtract to see how far away they are from the average, and then we're going to average those numbers again. So it's a lot of pushing buttons. All right, there are 3 steps to find the mean absolute deviation. The first step is to find the average. And who can tell me what we just said to find the average? What do? Add, then what? Then divide. So anytime you're finding the average, you add, then divide. Step 2, we're going to subtract our answer from each number. And we're going to get a new list. But look at this part right here. This is super, super important. It says, do not write a negative sign if you get it. Do not write a negative sign because we just want the difference. We don't really need to know if it has a positive or negative value, okay? And then our last step, we're going to average our new list of numbers. And how do we average? Add, then divide. Like I said, you're only going to have 4 questions on your assignment today because each question takes a little bit of work, but it's all going to be put into our calculator. So it should be very easy, just a little time consuming. So let's look at the first example, which is these numbers right here. To find the mean absolute deviation, what does step 1 say you're going to do? Average. And again, how do we average? Add these numbers, and then we're going to divide by how many numbers are there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 numbers. Make sense? So we're going to add, then divide by 7. We're not going to divide by 7 every time. It depends on how many numbers are there. So let's get our calculator and get ready to add those numbers. If you push one button wrong, your whole problem's going to be messed up. So make sure you're checking yourself. So here we go. I'm going to put in 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 11 plus 15. And then I'm going to go double check it to make sure I put it in correctly. So I'm just punching these numbers in by adding. So everybody should be doing it. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to write that down. I got 56. Is that the average? Yes or no? No, because I have to divide by how many numbers are there. And we said there were 7 numbers. So I'm dividing by 7, so I hit divided by 7. Oops. So divide by 7, and I got what? 8. 8 is the average. That's what you learned to do in 6th grade. Let me tell you all this. That will be an answer choice. Did everybody hear me? That will be an answer choice. Is it the answer to the final problem? No. So as soon as you see that answer choice, mark it out. That's just step 1. Step 2 says to do what? We're going to take our answer that we just got and subtract it from each of these numbers to make a new list. Since I had 7 numbers, I'm going to have 7 new numbers. Do I write negative signs? No. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do 8 minus 3. So I'm going to put there 8 minus 3. What is 8 minus 3? 5. And I'm going to mark it off to show I've done it. All right, what's my next one? Somebody say it. 8 minus 6. What is 8 minus 6? Okay, and notice that I marked it off to show I've done it. The next one, 8 minus 6 again, which is 2. The next one, 8 minus 7, which is 1. 8 minus 8, which is 0. 8 minus 11, negative 2. But do I write the negative sign? No, I just write 2. And 8 minus 15, what is it? Negative 7, right? But do we write the negative sign? No. Here is your new list of numbers. Step 3. I'm just going to repeat step 1 all over again, but with my new list of numbers. Question? Oh, it should be 3. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank you for correcting me. So y'all see that one little mistake right there I made? My whole problem would have been wrong. So it's very, very important that you go slow and that you check yourself. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated in the end because it's all going to be wrong. Okay? All right, step 3, you're going to average your new list of numbers by adding, then dividing by 7 because there's 7 numbers.
And yes, the 0 counts.
Yes, the 0 counts. You just use your calculator. All right, here we go. 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 7. When you added, what did you get? Is that your answer? Will that be an answer choice? Yes, it will. They love to trick us. But we know we still have to divide by 7. And 20 divided by 7 is, and here's where you can round. Just pick the closest answer. So it'd be like either 2.9 or 2.86, depending on how they round. They're probably going to round to the hundredths place. So 2.8, and that 5 would become a 6 because the 7 is big. So 2.86. And that is your final answer. It is very easy. Just kind of boring. Yeah? Because you're just punching numbers. Again, if you enjoy this, there are jobs that do this kind of stuff and they pay a ton of money. A ton of money to punch numbers into stuff. Okay, flip to the back. I want you to do one example on your own. If I was you, now listen, when you get to your assignment, you're going to have a blank paper with boxes, right? The first thing I would do is write those numbers down because they're going to be from your computer. Then I would go like this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You've got to follow all 3 steps. So everybody go and try this one on your own. Okay, when y'all added step 1, did you get 322?
Yes.
All right, is that the average? No, I must divide by how many numbers are there. How many numbers were there? 5. So I go divide by 5, and I got 64.4. Is that the answer? No. So step 2, I do what? Subtract to make a new list. So if I had 5 numbers, I'm going to have 5 more numbers. So I might even go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know I better put 5 new numbers there. Do I write negatives?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to type this in and subtract it from each of these to get those numbers. Okay, try that on your own and then we'll check it with me. All right, did everybody get step 2 correct? Yes? So now we're going to do step 3, which is to average our new list of numbers. So we need to add these up and divide again. Okay, go finish that last step and then check it with mine. Did everybody adding it get 36.4?
Yes.
Is that the answer?
No.
Will it be an answer choice? Yes, but I still have to divide by 5 because there was 5 numbers, and my answer is 7.28. Yes? All right, you are going to open the Google Classroom assignment. Now, look at the answer document. It is blank. What do you think I want you to do to show your work?
Put all the numbers.
Put the numbers right here and make sure you write them nice and neat. Then do step 1, step 2, step 3, and just put your answer in this bottom corner, A, B, C, or D. Make sense? All right, get busy.